During that time, I believe, there was no structural kind of arrangement called ITE. So there were the various VIs and students from the vocational institution actually move up to, Singapore Technical Institute. And then from there, they achieve what you call the Industrial Technician Certificate, which I believe now you known as NITEC and Higher NITEC. I think it was known as Aljunied Vocational Institute, or AVI. All right, that was the first. I had to spend 1 year in there, and then with the certification that we achieved, we actually moved upwards towards Singapore Technical Institute. The location, I believe, was around the Aljunied area. I can't remember exactly where is the location. That was 40 years ago, and I remember it was very close to a market. School building, I would say that it looks a little bit like a 3-story, those primary, secondary school, old school building. I think that was part and parcel of during those days where I think Ministry of Education deployed some of these schools for VITB to be used. I remember very clearly that when we sort of from Sec 4, when we left without very good results and the opportunity to actually secure in, although I was given basically an option to go into, I think during that time was Sing Poly, to do marine engineering. And it was a 5 years course. Although I qualified for the marine engineering, I decided not to do so because basically that was not part of what I wanted to do. So I went through the track, my love, which was actually the electronic servicing side. And that's where I went into VITB. During those days, it is actually a matter of choice also as well. Yeah. AVI, VITB and all that during that time still had to wear school uniform. I was quite a jovial guy during that time, so I was even, part of the student union member, I was a treasurer. I was also basically a prefect. So during that portion in time, we had to wear school uniform. It was very irritating. And the only difference was when we switched over to SDI. Now, during that time, SDI, we could wear, civilian clothing and stuff like that. And that was the time that we felt more adult, driven. Yeah. So classroom-wise, structure of the classroom during those days was sort of laid out in terms of rows of tables, facing the teachers and stuff like that. We were still using blackboard and not the computer blackboard, but a blackboard where chalk and things are still being used. And remember during in class when we were very playful, still very playful, 17, 18, throwing chalks all over the place. Yeah. During my time in the area, the impact was not just about the lecturers teaching us or whatsoever. To be frank, I think the impact was actually the peer student that you have, and the way that the collaboration and the teamship and the friendship and the bonding that we did, that actually drive all of us even further. So a lot of the peer classmates that we had were very ambitious. So all of us actually mainly look out beyond what we are able to do. And I believe that some of us in my cohort itself, some of them has actually become certain professional level. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, one of them is even a PhD holder now, teaching in one of the, I think, University of Polytechnic. Yeah. So that is the areas, and I believe during that time among peer support in terms of helping each other was very, very strong.